The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com.
We were on the break!
With Ambar Garcia, Bryan Broaddus, Voch Lombardi, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Monday, October 6th, 2025, season 21, episode number 51. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break. We're live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star, presented by LG. LG is the world's #1 OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. See why at LG.com/OLEDEVO.com. All right. Welcome to the show, man. We appreciate you guys joining us. Got a lot that we're going to get into today. Cowboys get a win yesterday. They win 37-22 on the road against the New York Jets. And let me preface this before we get into the show. I don't want to hear nary person say it was just the Jets.
Nah.
Because there was a whole bunch of people, including Vegas, that thought just the Jets were going to beat the Cowboys yesterday. So, that being said, let's jump in. Let's go storylines. Let's go around the table. Everybody tell me, what do you think is the storyline of this game? We'll start with you, Voch.
Lessons learned. Derek, you did a fantastic job setting it up for us there.
Thank you, sir.
I understand that it's the Jets, but I think you learned a lot from what happened yesterday. What happens when your offensive line goes to shambles? In past Cowboys administration, you may lose one guy and the whole offense goes to shambles.
Or defense, either way.
Or defense.
Yeah.
What happens if you got a #1 guy with a #1 corner? Does the rest of your offense shut down? I think you learned so much. What happens if you got backup interior guys versus superstar? See, all we know is Dexter Lawrence versus our good guys. But what happens when we got backup guys and their first test is Quinnen Williams? You can say that it's the Jets, but damn it, you the Cowboys. You was looking weird too. But you've learned so much and you overcame a lot of nonsense there. So, yeah.
Cowboys have a pass rush, actually.
Don't they?
They found one. They found one. And against an offensive line that, coming into the game, had a lot of continuity. There's only one other team that has had their starters play all together, but the Jets are one of them. And so this was an offensive line that's got some young guys. It's got some first-round players, at various spots. They did a good job going to grabbing some veteran players as well. But there's an offensive line that wasn't compromised, wasn't beat up, wasn't missing players and all these things. So, you found a way to generate some pass rush. You found some ways, whether it was through some scheme things. Yeah, you still played a lot of zone, about 83% zone. You played, about 17% man, but you brought some pressure. You found out some ways to kind of get your guys freed up, and you finally won some one-on-one battles. You finally came off the football. You finally attacked shoulders. You finally got around the corner. You finally found a way to win inside once in a while. Hey, you even did a couple of things scheme-wise to free guys up on some twist stunts. It looked like that first Houston sack looked like, to me, a very Dan Quinn type of a blitz that we used to see, or a rush with the way the alignment went. So congratulations. You did find a pass rush. Now the trick is make sure that pass rush shows up every week.
Yeah, I'm inclined to give my flowers or give flowers to the defense right now, because obviously very well deserved. And since we've been criticizing them a whole ton this season based on the performance they've put out, when they do something like this, you have to talk about it and give them a lot of credit. But my storyline, I'm impressed by the offense, like everything that they've done. When you talk about the guys that have the starters that have come out of the offensive line, when you talk about the wide receivers that are out, and you see the way that they were still able to perform in years prior, they don't win that game. If the Cowboys are missing those players, they do not win a game. So I'm impressed by what Brian Schottenheimer has been able to build and create with this offense, where you got players, and we'll talk about everybody else that stood out in that game. But when you get backups to be playing and starting in games and they perform in that way, it's impressive, because it is not something that we're used to see with the Cowboys.
Today, I want to give credit and a hand clap and a tip of the cap, whatever you do to show appreciation, I want to do it for 3 coaches: Brian Schottenheimer, Clayton Adams, Connor Riley. Because we love on shows like this, and I'm not talking about just us. Y'all gave me the little, I wanted a real clap. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. We love, we love on shows like this to give the coaches the blame when things go wrong, and deservedly so, right? That's fair. But when you get into a situation like this, and if you guys remember last Friday, I mentioned the night before in that Thursday night game, Kyle Shanahan took his 49ers team to play the Rams. And in that game, they were without a ton of guys, including their starting quarterback. And what did they do? They played him right up to the final and went into overtime and won that game. And my thought was, and the point I made on the show was, I want to find out if the Cowboys have the kind of coaches that, regardless of the circumstance, because we hear that a lot around here. We've been hearing that for like 15 years from coaches. Regardless of circumstances, we're going to make it, like we're going to still do what we got to do. I wanted to see in this type of situation where, by the way, they were hit with injuries more than I've ever seen this team be hit by injuries in a game. When you think about more than half of their starters on offense were out, including, by the way, last year, Dallas Cowboys had 5 guys that went to the Pro Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. 4 of those guys didn't play for the Cowboys yesterday. And in spite of that, 4 offensive linemen starters out. Your top receiver out. Your third receiver out. The Cowboys figured out, and as I went back and watched it, they figured out how to take care of, do the things that they needed to do. They did a lot of max protect. The quarterback played out of his mind like he's been playing out of his mind. Their offensive line, when it came to the run game, they knew how to do the right things at the right time. Guys weren't overpowering anybody necessarily, but they set up the scheme in ways where guys could get in the way, create holes, seams, and the running back did his job. Like, I just think yesterday to me was a clear reflection of the kind of coaching, particularly from the head coach, from the offensive coordinator, and from the offensive line coach, that has to be commended on a day like today, because they did a phenomenal job.
Which is why I didn't want to hear nothing when people were saying, well, Voch, Flus doesn't have any players. He doesn't have any guys. Yeah, he's bad on defense because there are no dudes here. Man, you should be able to coach past that. I'm not saying that Flus should go out here and have this #1 defense in the league or something like that, but you can't be 32nd with guys that we've seen play well before. Look, if you walk into this thing with Nate Thomas at left tackle, Jalen Tolbert, Flournoy out there, the only wide receiver that you really have a lot of faith in is Pickens, and just the rest of that offensive line. Hakeem Adeniji didn't even play guard in camp. He was left tackle or right tackle. To line up at left guard at the moment's notice, and then you go out there and put up damn near the same 37 points that you probably would have put up if you were totally healthy. Shouts out to those guys. One more clap. I'm not gonna make Beam hit the button no more, but just this could have went totally. Hit the button.
There you go. Just hit the button.
It could have been. Save it for the end. It could have went terribly. It could have went terribly, but it didn't, because we finally have a coach now. I went on social media and I made this big thing out of it, posting different gifs and emojis of just me crying, because I feel like we haven't had a coach that brings an advantage to the game. Just watching how those guys set up some of those runs and passes, keeping Dak safe, and screens, and how it's just every single week you're just building on something. One more thing about Shotty is I feel like he's also getting better every single week. Critical of the middle 8, the last 4, and the first 4 going into the half or whatever. Like, it looks weird in week 1. You could have done better week 2. You did cool last week. You get 2 scores in back-to-back weeks like that. So now the next thing you would say, all right, Shotty, if we can score in the third quarter, now we on to something. Yep. So now you have this path to what midseason form looks like. Shouts out to Shotty and the guys, and I'm gonna give credit to the defense too. Y'all did some things and some building blocks. Dante Fowler came to play. I talk crazy about you. You don't do nothing. You do something. I got something to say about you. Fantastic, sir. Shake my hand. You did well, but do it again next week. I'm gonna come right back on this show and say that you was tripping.
I see someone here on the chat.
What they say?
James, he says Schottenheimer is creating competition. And I wanted to point that out because that's something that I've been noticing and catching my eyes that is different from years prior and other coaches, is this whole mentality of like you being automatically granted your playtime based on where you were drafted or your contract. Yeah. And that right now, he's changing that culture. He's changing that mentality where he is whether it's because of injury and now you're forced to play or other reasons, but he's still creating this whole concept of like, you get to play if you do what you're supposed to do. You earn your spot. And if you're good enough, even if you have no experience, if you're a rookie, if you're a one-year guy, you're going to earn your play time out on the field. And you see that. You see how that has been translating with the other guys that have gotten the opportunity, and look at the way they're performing. It's like it lights up a different fire because you know that you actually have a legit chance to compete and get some play time. And I absolutely love that. I love the way that these younger guys, Shamar James, the way I'm so impressed. But there, along with him, there are many other guys that I think have been stepping up, and you see that. You see what he can become, and that is very exciting.
Is it, you said tripping?
Tripping?
Tripping? Is that what you call it?
It depends what context.
TRIPP.
Context says we're tripping. We should be talking about this quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting
This
there.
quarterback ain't going to let you
tripping.
lose.
Yeah, we
He ain't going to let you lose in games like this.
As you
Now,
told somebody on the radio.
Yeah, he's not going to let you lose. And we could all be, yeah, I did. I
gotta go
went
find him
off.
now.
Oh, you went in.
I got to
Yeah,
I didn't hear
talk
it.
about applauding. I was applauding like,
No,
go
man.
get him, Brian.
Beam,
No,
don't hit the
when
button,
you
man.
listen, when you dig in, if you have a takes are cool, you
Yeah.
know, but you have a strong take. You also have to acknowledge when the other side.
Well, now
of
I'm
your
curious,
take-
what was the take?
Well, the take was this gentleman felt like that he had been telling his buddies all week that Dak Prescott was not getting it done, was not a good quarterback. Was not.
false.
When you have the take about the player where you're really, really dug in on players,
the baby bottom.
you have to be able to be able to step back and say, you know what, I was wrong about this guy.
Because we all going to be wrong from time to time.
Williams, the running back, put him in pads, put him in game situations. He's one of your top running backs in the league. Just right now, through 5 weeks, he's one of the top. I was wrong. You admit that. You don't get so dug in on a position that you can't acknowledge when the other side is right. And I think with Dak's situation, listen, let's be honest. And Voch and I've had this discussion already this morning. Yeah. When you take away all the pieces from the Cowboys in that game, they're probably pretty even to playing the Jets. Yeah. It's probably pretty even. Their talent, your talent, probably. You can go, okay, what washes this out? This receiver washes, this corner's washing this guy. It's pretty, you had it. The most important position you had yesterday was your quarterback. That was the most important position. You could, Sauce Gardner carrying Pickens all day. Look at Flournoy beating their guys up. Hey, offensive line, I would say going in, the Jets' offensive line was probably better than your offensive line. Everything, there were a lot of equals in this game. The only thing that really wasn't equal was two things, is the coaching and then also your quarterback. Mm-hmm. Those were the equal things. This guy is on this mission right now to continue to play at a high level no matter what's thrown his way. You have to acknowledge that.
Also, too, Brian, I don't even think it's about being wrong. You just got more information, and I'm just changing my mind now. Shotty did not look like a great hire. It looked like a weird from the inside. You didn't do any research, due diligence, nothing. What are the Joneses doing? Boy, we got a ton more information. Mm-hmm. Shotty showed us who he is, couple games, players talking about him.
Wish we had the Bears game back, but here we are.
Wish we had that game back.
Yeah.
They still playing ping pong. I got new information. Hey, man, Shotty, it's working out, brother. So, you can say I was wrong, but I'm just like, hey, man, I've been shown something different.
Yeah, but like I say, there's people that get so dug in.
Yeah,
and
they're wrong.
And you get so dug in, you have to be able to acknowledge when your other side's like, listen, you can be telling your buddies all week that Dak sucks, and then Dak goes out there and wins a game with half his offense gone and throwing the ball to Ryan Flournoy. By the way, Derek, I appreciate the pronunciation of that.
We got to get that right because there's a bunch of people out there that's still calling him Flournoy.
I call him Flo.
Yeah,
it's Flournoy.
But that's
Flournoy.
But that's where you're at right now. They took away, and then we knew going in they were going to take away Pickens in this game. He made a great play, but what'd your quarterback do? He adjusted. He found other options. He found his tight end again. He's been finding his tight end all year. Yeah. But look, give credit, like I say, let's not forget that quarterback and the way he's played here the last several weeks.
And I will just say this. I know I'm speaking because a lot of you haven't been able to see this, but I've seen different video clips that are not public of Shotty addressing his team. And when I tell you the way he addresses his team, like you would be ready to fight yourself. Like this dude, I'm telling you, he is a really, really good coach. I want to see if all the things that we're seeing about culture and all those things actually reflect in them turning into the team that's winning consistently. And I'm seeing some signs that makes me think that that's possible. But man, he checks all the boxes from the standpoint of what you want from a coach as far as how you build your team, how you build the right mentality around your team. It reminds me so much, in a little different way, but so much of what you saw Campbell do with the Lions when he got in there. It's how you talk to your team. It's what you make them believe about themselves. And I think that's the part that to me is just, it's unheralded. I mean, it's not getting as much talk because you're not seeing it, but trust me, it's happening. This guy, he's the real deal, man.
They need to win one of these Philadelphia and Green Bay
Absolutely.
games. They need to go out and beat a Kansas City or beat a Denver in Denver. I mean, he is doing a nice job. He really, really is. But to give it validity, to give it true, deep validity, you need to go out and win one of these games. And they're capable. They played very well. I thought for Philadelphia had a chance. The Green Bay game could have gone either way. I mean, it could have gone either way. Unfortunately, it ended up in a tie. But they're going to need to, yes. And I'm not going to say it's the Jets because I know how hard it is to win in the National Football League. And they took away half your damn team. Yep. For you to walk out of that on a road game and get a victory is great. But, man, now the challenges are ahead. You got the Commanders ahead. Division game, going to be at home.
Denver.
No, we're not looking. Yeah,
Yep.
Denver. These games, hopefully you're building your team right now to be able to go beat the Commanders at home, go take a game at Denver, whereas before you weren't really sure where you were at.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's the thing. I see several people in the chat just commenting on like, oh, yeah, congratulations. It was against the Jets. Well, throw a party. Whatever. The point here is you're starting to see things that are different from the, what's that thing? The amo? Is that the word?
Say it in Spanish.
No, the characteristic of somebody. They're amo?
What they're made of?
They're M.O.
M.O.
They're M.O.
Damn.
I was like,
Thank you. You got it.
they're M.O. Yeah.
M.O.
M.O.
Yeah.
What they're
M.O.
made of. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what it stands for.
Yeah.
You
Made
see,
of.
you live and learn.
Modus operandi.
But
Yes, that's what it is. That's
the
exactly
point
what it
here
stands for. Go ahead.
is, going back to that, their MO has...
On a roll, let her go.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Killing this content.
Yeah, we're messing it up. Go ahead.
This is very Animal
We ain't
House of you,
messing
Ambar.
nothing up. This
Go
is
ahead.
perfect. We ain't messing up a thing. Please.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys and the support. Thanks
yeah.
for having my back.
We're not laughing at you.
Go get
Point
it, Ambar.
is, their point is...
Which-
Can I go now?
Yes.
Go.
Okay. Their MO is to get in their way. Like, even whoever their opponent is, whether good or the worst in the league, if they're struggling and facing any kind of adversity on their team, they're gonna lose that game. They've shown that to us many, many times. So that's why this game, regardless of being a win against the Jets, to me personally, it feels completely different because you see all the struggles injury-wise on the offense. And then on defense, you still see the guys that you're missing. You see the things that you have been struggling with. The fact that you were able to get some pass rush this time around that we've been complaining about every week since the season started, it builds momentum. It gives this whole nother energy, regardless of the opponent. It does. I am a huge believer in momentum and energy and all of that. So it creates a different energy and vibe in the defense that I hope just continues to carry over into next week. So yes, this win was very necessary, and like we say all the time, they're still an NFL team. These are still professional players that they're playing against with, and it's just say what you say, criticize what you want, be a hater all you want, but we're gonna enjoy this win this week. Tomorrow we can start criticizing some more, but today we enjoy the win.
Real fast, one more thing. We laughing. You're not wrong at all. Because one thing that I can't stand about the Eagles, I just don't like them, is they know how to win these games.
Yeah.
They just know how to. No matter what's going on with them, passing game look crazy. Saquon can't get going. They figure out how to win these games.
Good teams do that.
They know how to do it. You learn how to win those games by getting in situations and winning those games. So you just got to keep on winning. Fantastic point, Amber.
Yeah, we're going
thank
to take our first break. We're going to come back.
Changing the MO. We're changing the MO this year.
We're going to jump into the offense and talk a little bit more about Dak Prescott, Javonte Williams, and Ryan Flanoy. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
Hey.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman here. As the official pitmaster of the Dallas Cowboys, you know I take cookware seriously, especially when it comes to America's team. So when the Cowboys are away, I'm putting my Yeti cast iron skillets to work to make my game day favorites for friends and family. I'm talking chicken fried steak, skillet queso, and peach cobbler. And just like the Cowboys are forever, so are these heirloom cast iron skillets. Check out the full line of skillets on Yeti.com or at a Yeti store near you.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Don't put off getting your oil changed, Dallas. Take 5 Oil Change, a proud partner of the Cowboys, is faster than you think. They're so fast, you don't even have to get out of your car. You can take advantage of Take 5's stay-in-your-car 10-minute oil change at any of their locations across the Dallas area. And remember, at Take 5, you stay in your car because they're faster than you think. That means you won't even have time to show off your best touchdown celebration. Take 5, the official oil change of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to the break.
Choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo. Check out the best TV in the game at LG.com.
Welcome back. It is the second segment of the break. We're live from SWBC Morgan Studios at the Star. We're talking about the Cowboys' 37-22 victory over the Jets, man.
And you laugh at me.
Got a lot going on. Let's talk about Dak Prescott. 18 of 29, 62% completion rate.
We're not going to ding that thing.
Yeah.
200.
Don't worry about it.
I guess
237 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 127.4 rating. And the segment is brought to you by blockchain.com.
I'm trying to help you, man.
Just let me get through it.
I'm just saying.
You know, let's get through it.
I thought the money ran out. I don't know what did.
You think blockchain went away?
I said, damn, boy, blockchain don't pay us no more. I said, damn, I was ready to do the beat.
No, we good. Okay,
you just want to read the stats first.
I was trying to see. That's called like when you get into the content before you present the sponsor.
Right.
Now that allows people to they're into the content and they're like, oh, sponsor.
And
where they might have just tuned the sponsor out, right?
And now they download blockchain on their phone.
There you go.
Boy, you own to something.
Or they'll bitch about the
Derek
fact,
Eagleton own to something.
or they'll bitch about the fact there's a read in the middle of the show.
Yeah, but it don't matter. That don't matter.
Like, damn, Derek, I was focused on the numbers. What you say about blockchain? But yeah, I got you.
But now they own blockchain. All right, here we go. Talking about Dak Prescott, his performance yesterday.
Yeah.
What would you like to talk about?
Yes. Talk to me about his performance.
Boy, Dak was fantastic, wasn't he? And okay, so I'll just say this.
Talk about Dak. Go.
1, 2, 3, go.
I think Dak is in his comfy phase. Yeah. He's in his old man phase, and I think the game slowed down for him. And I can take that and say, if you take away my number one guy, what happens? What happens and you've taken away 3 guys from him? Mm-hmm. But what he'll do is he'll find ways to get other guys involved. If there was some knock from Cowboy fans that Bryan doesn't like, Dak doesn't elevate other people. I've always felt like Dak does, but Dak really gave you evidence of that yesterday by just looking at Flo. And Flo wasn't just, all right, we're just going to find a little way to get you going for a handful full of yards, but Flo got some yak yards. Flo got tough catches. Flo was handed the football, reverses, jet sweeps, and all this. So, I'm sure we're going to talk about him at some point because you're a fantastic host. But Dak didn't just, he didn't just go away because Lamb and Turpin aren't there or because there's a number one corner versus your number one receiver. Dak found a way to get it going, and if you can keep doing that through postseason, oh boy.
Remember Spitgate?
Huh?
Oh
yeah.
Week one in my class.
Okay.
Season, but
Yeah.
Okay.
First.
Week 1 with
Week
Jalen
one.
Carter.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Spitgate. That close-up shot of Dak.
When he winked.
Yeah.
God,
Where you see, man, when I saw that, I'm like, Dak feeling different this year. He bringing a different kind of crazy, a good crazy though. But that's the moment I knew we're in it for a surprise, and I'm surprised. In a good way. I know we've seen it throughout Dak's career that he has the potential. We've seen it in different years, but this is like right now, currently, the first year where everything is kind of working at the same time. It's always been like, oh, well, he's mobile, or then you take the mobility out of the game because he dealt with an injury, or then you take the receivers out. And so it's always been something, or the running game. So right now it's really the time where everything is just starting to click all at once, where he has a running game, where now he's fully healthy. He's always been confident, but it's just a different kind of swagger and confidence. And then on top of that, the connection that he has with all the other receivers has been completely different. We've seen it previous years where it was like the receiver by committee and it just was not working. So everything right now is working for Dak, but not because it's just luck or happening. He has put the work in. And I've said it last week, the relationship with Brian Schottenheimer, they continue to talk about this. The fact that he allows Dak to be. He allows Dak to also make decisions and have an opinion and take that in and just work together. And it's just beautiful, everything that they build in together currently. And this is for it to be the first year. And I say, because obviously Brian Schottenheimer, he's been here already, but the first year of like him being as a head coach and the play caller, I'm so excited for what the future holds. But not too far in the future.
The next 4 years before you get old, yeah.
Nah. Not that far out.
The next 5
I need to live in the present.
next 5
Yeah.
weeks, I guess.
It's amazing what a running game will do for you. It really will. It helps the quarterback who's thriving as a play-action quarterback. Yeah, he was almost perfect again yesterday. And if you look at the overall numbers through the year of what he's been able to do off that, and there was a time where Dak Prescott under center, turn his back to the defense, and then try and find where everybody is. There was some struggles with that. And this coaching staff has done a really good job of working with him. Dak continues to try and grow in that regard of reading the field, seeing things in a little bit different way, knowing where he needs to go with the ball, taking shots when a safety doubles Tolbert, and all of a sudden now you have a deep shot down the field to a guy that's covered by one of the best cornerbacks in the league. You know, these are the kinds of things, these are the things you grow. Yeah, 10-year guy, veteran guy and all that. But, man, you look at what they've been able to do with this running game and how it has affected them in a positive way. And his ability to continue, all 4 of his passes that went for touchdowns all came off play action. Yeah. Why does play action work? It works when you could fake it and hope you affect them and all that, even if you don't have a running game. But it works a lot better when there's a threat. And so you have a threat running the football, but you have a bigger threat throwing the ball now, and you have receivers that were able to win yesterday. It was going to be tough for Pickens. We just knew that going in. That was probably going to be a wash. They needed somebody else to step up, and they did. They found a couple of guys to step up. But, man, that running game, again, makes a huge difference in how this quarterback's playing. He's taking advantage of that.
To me, Dak Prescott this season is taking that jump from being a really good quarterback in the NFL to being an elite quarterback in the NFL. And what I mean by that is you'll see it. There are only a few quarterbacks in the NFL, in my opinion, at any given time that have the capability that without all the things around them being perfect, without all the great players around them, they still can move their offenses and still can win ball games. That's what we're seeing from Dak this year. Because right now, I think if you just went out and you started asking people, how do you think Nate Thomas played yesterday? How do you think Terrence Steele has played this season? How do you think Tyler Guyton was playing before he left? I think most people will be like, oh, they're pretty good. You go back and watch the film, they all have moments where it's
yeah.
But guess what?
That Nate Thomas one was interesting.
Exactly. Unless you're watching the film and really breaking it down and looking at it, you would think everything's been great. The reality is your quarterback has been exceptional because you don't notice it because he's been so good. But every time there's a breakdown, ball out.
Yeah.
And he's just looking at the defender like, you almost let you have me. But they didn't have him. Like, Dak is playing exceptional football, and he's covering up all of the deficiencies you have right now. That, to me, is elite level quarterback play. You're not just doing your job. You're doing the job of the entire offense. So when things break down, you know how to still make a play. That's the difference, I think, right now between what we've seen from Dak Prescott in the past and what we're seeing in the 2025 version of Dak Prescott.
Yeah, Dak's looking like a top 3 guy. And I really want to be a homer and say higher, and Josh Allen went out there and did what he did last night versus the other team. He looking kind of weird out there. But just Dak per what he has and what he's done so far and just consistent. Like, it's just the Jets, y'all, but Dak done the same thing versus the Eagles and the Packers,
Yep,
man.
sure.
You know what I mean? So we just can't say that. We just can't say that. Dak is in this stride, and I sound like a homer when I say this, but I remember the Saints. It was Breeze and Sean Payton. Fantastic offense. They were like number 1 in the offense, but they weren't winning games. They were like 7-9 3 years in a row or something like that. But then some just clicked. And Drew went on his little run. Sean Payton got in his bag and didn't get in Drew's way. And they got a handful of guys on defense. Wasn't a spectacular defense. Wasn't one of the best defense in the world.
Opportunistic.
But an opportunity. They took the ball away here and there. Flus. Boy, I ain't talking to you. I ain't looking direct. I'm looking at Brian Broaddus. But Flus. Just take the ball away here or there.
He's starting to.
I know they're starting to. But you can see it coming together. And some games, some games, just me as a Cowboy fan, I would walk into it going, man, this might be one of them games where Dak get nervous, where like Fangio throw some weird stuff at him, and we can't beat man coverage all of a sudden. I'm staying chill because I know that at the end of this season, there's some games.
Oh, yeah.
Towards the end, there's going to be some real tests.
Oh, yeah.
There's some coming up.
Some real tests coming, but just as of now.
Here's the deal. When you get to Philadelphia,
Right
that
after the bye.
game for the rest of the year, you're playing all the teams except for one were in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
It is a murderer's row of good teams that you're going to have to go through. You were talking the Chiefs, we're talking the Lions. Like, these are good teams that you're going to have to go through. But I will tell you this, if this offense keeps playing like it's playing, you got a shot against any of them because this offense can put up points. They are putting up points, real points every week. And so if they keep doing that, they got a shot, and then you see what happens. But I certainly think we're already, at least speaking for myself, I'm already seeing this team as better than what I thought they would be, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. If the defense can just get them up a little bit, they have a real shot to do something this year. Who knows how far they can go, but to do something this year. All right, let's take our final break. We'll come back. We still got to talk about Javonte Williams, Ryan for Illinois. We might save defense till tomorrow because it's so much to talk about.
Got time.
We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united. I'm home.
Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Back to the break.
AT&T, connecting changes everything.
Welcome back. We're in the final segment of the break live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. Cowboys win 37-22 to the Jets. They move on this week and head to Carolina. Another road game, another noon road game against a team that's
not
playing great
yet, please.
Those noon?
Yeah, don't use all those up. A couple of those late in the season.
Hey, we don't have a lot of those late in the season. I think these might be our only stretch of multiple noons, right?
Yeah, we got a couple late in the year.
Yeah,
very late in the year. But
I think the Chargers game maybe.
Chargers is noon game.
Yeah, and then the last game of the year is
which you never know what that one's going to be. They're going to put those around basically how they want to do for TV. But let's talk about Javonte Williams. Yesterday he got 16 carries for 135 yards and 8.4 average, 1 touchdown. He also got a receiving touchdown. Really big run there. I think it was 66 yards. Talk about what he has done, or better yet, what is making him so special in this offense. Basically, as he's having a career year, what's making him so special in this offense? Is it something that they're doing schematically, or is it just his abilities coming through after coming back 2 years from the injury?
I think this run game is very creative, very innovative. There's old man ways to run everything. There's old man ways to run counter, power, zone, or whatever. But what Clayton Adams and all these guys have done, Jared need to put a brown paper bag full of money on his desk to just make sure we just maintain him for. That's against the rules. I can't say.
I was about to say it's not against the rules to pay coaches, so you don't have to do a brown paper bag. Just give him a check.
Give him do whatever you got to do. But I'm watching.
It's all legal.
I watched Clayton run
Meet
trap.
in an alley or something.
I've watched Clayton run trap for 3 weeks. Then week 4, he runs a trap with a little something. I don't want to get too nerdy here. Yeah. With a little something different. And then in week 5, and the big play was actually a trap, but it was another pull on the back end of it, and they do something so cool to where when they down block, they don't just down block and stay. They initiate the down block, climb to the second level. So now that the down block's not running upfield or something, so it makes it easier for your pull guy. And I'm like, damn, dog, we're innovating. The oldest playing football, Bryan knows this because he was around in the 60s.
He was running that play back.
He was running trap.
Yeah.
They're innovating trap. And like if you're doing the same thing all year, then teams will pretty much read it and figure it out. Even on the Ferguson screen, it looked like you're running counter. Like it was a play action. It looks like counter. And you saw defenders going towards the counter just for us to go boom.
Safety and linebacker all went with the flow.
But what makes that work is Nate Thomas looks like he's down blocking, but he's like, I'm sneaking. And then once he gets to the other side, he's lead blocking now. Just small technical. And, you asked about Javonte, and I made this by Clayton Adams. But all this work hand in hand. Clayton and what he put together, they fit perfectly. And Clayton
he's the kind of runner they wanted.
They came out and said it all off. Hey, we want to run physical, want to whoop people, want to move the line of scrimmage. And no matter what configuration of linemen you have out there, they all seem to be on the same page of we know how to run combos, we know how to move guys when we're doubling, we know how to climb to the second level, do all this kind of stuff. But the actual physical run style, I don't want to take all the talking points because I'm nerding out and I can talk about this all day. But we ain't seen this since Callahan, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say. But Ambar, please, because then Bryan gonna go and take your.
He's gonna talk about running game. Jim Moses, I know he is.
For sure. Please
go ahead.
Well, I didn't follow a whole lot of Javonte Williams' career and what he has done in the past, other than the basics, like the stats and all of that.
Fantastic in college, fantastic rookie, got hurt.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think there were a lot of skepticism when he was coming in, and we talked about it. If you asked right before the beginning of the season, if you asked anybody, one of the position groups that kept coming up as a big question marks and a lot of doubts were the running back group. And Bryan Broaddus. Now I got the Broaddus. See, now you're giving it to me of saying his last name.
That's his name, Bryan Broaddus.
Yeah, but I never say it. I just saw Bryan.
Mom appreciates when you do that.
Bryan Broaddus. But they knew what they were looking for. They knew they do their due diligence of studying these guys and trying to find somebody that really has the qualities that fits for what they were trying to do right at the beginning. And he has exceeded all of my expectations. I didn't think I wasn't hating too bad on the running backs. It was just like, okay, who's gonna be the main guy? Sure. Who's gonna be the main guy? And now he's shown you he has everything that you look for in a running back. And what I appreciate is his strength. He's powerful. Like, he's not someone that you're just gonna bring down. He has that bulkiness to him, and he's so quick in his cuts. So it's like bulkiness mixed with quickness. And I keep giving credit to the O-line, but the O-line goes hand in hand with the work that he's doing as a running back. So again, just two things working simultaneously, beautifully at once.
Run of the day. 3rd and 1 from the Jets, 28.
Yeah.
They hand the ball to Williams. He's hit in the backfield.
Yeah.
He somehow avoids that and gets forward for a first down. Dallas gets a fresh set of downs. Next play, Dak Prescott screened to Jake Ferguson for a touchdown. You don't get that 3rd down conversion. We don't know what shot he's going to do. Maybe he kicks a field goal. Maybe he goes for it again. But that's the kind of player you got. The long run and all that's great. The 4.5 yards of carries are great. The catch and the blitz pickup, all that stuff's great. That's all you need to know about this player.
Sure.
As on 3rd and 1, he's hit for a -2 and gets 2 yards out of it himself. And the very next play, you score a touchdown. That's what you have in this guy. He is not going to be stopped with the way that he's carrying the football. And that's a credit to him, because I was pointing to myself. I had a lot of doubts about him. But when you put the helmet and the pads and you go play real football, that's what this guy is. He's a real football player.
Yeah. Also, too, go ahead. Also, too, like, he's not a guy that can be graded on, like, yards. Like, if he goes out there, Bryan, like, if he didn't have his big run or whatever, he'll have, 70-some yards, Voch, but he's wearing these guys down in these short yards, right? So he's wearing you down, and by the time you're in the 4th quarter, they don't want to tackle him. And as an offensive lineman, me and Bryan, ex-offensive lineman, that makes it easier for us, because you don't want to tackle him, so I get to block you a little bit better. So all the offensive linemen benefit from him whooping people in front of him. Please, Derek, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I'm going to shift the conversation a little bit, because I thought Bryan made a good point about that play being the play of the day for him. I think in the same way, you can make the argument for Ryan Flanoy. He had 2 big catches, 46, 40 yards. The best play for me was before the half. It was 2nd and 10. They were backed up. The Jets had actually just taken a timeout, because they're thinking at 1:56, they're thinking, hey, if we can get a stop here, we might be able to get the ball back and get a score here before the half. 2nd and 10. 10-yard slant, Flanoy, first down. That's where the Cowboys were like, all right, we're moving now. Yeah. Now let's get aggressive. Now let's keep going. We can score. And they end up scoring a touchdown there. I think that in the same way Ryan Flanoy had his, it wasn't the play that everybody talked about. It was that play on 2nd and 10 that made me say, this guy can be a player for them, because yesterday what you saw from him, it wasn't just those big plays. He made some contested catches. It was run after the catch. It was all the other things that he was doing than just the big catch, to me, that showed up. What were your thoughts on Ryan Flanoy, and were you at all surprised, or is this something you've been seeing from the things you've seen in training camp and other times that he's been on the field playing?
Remember how he started training camp like non-existent?
Yeah.
Like, it was like we were talking about everybody for like the first week, and then all of a sudden he started to have some practices, and then he had some And then he had a couple of preseason games where he showed up and all that. Then he was showing up on special teams, and you're thinking like, okay, well, maybe what they can use him as the fourth or fifth guy, and he could dress and he could be. And then Mingo gets hurt, and now he's going to have to elevate and play a lot more. So to me, yeah, the start wasn't great. Then he kind of, like I said, he worked his way through. And now he's starting to, I think that Green Bay game gave him a lot of confidence and they were going to need somebody. And we could talk about with Tolbert, and I've been very, very critical of Tolbert. I'll say this about Tolbert. In that game, he ran some routes that drew coverage. The big shot over the Flanoy, the one early in the game that went for the 40-some-odd yards, it was a route that Tolbert ran inside that drew the safety up to give him the space to be able to run the route behind that. I mean, those are the kinds of things you don't think about. But when you're watching the tape, you notice, like, how did they create so much space? Yeah. They're playing man coverage. Oh, look, Tolbert runs a route, and now here comes the safety to come up and help, thinking the ball's going to go inside. Instead, it goes further down the field. But Ryan Flanoy, that great job yesterday. The moment somebody had to step up on that stage and help the Dallas Cowboys move the football, and he answered the call for a team that desperately needed somebody. They were not going to. It was going to be a real struggle with Pickens and Sauce Gardner. That was going to be a big, big struggle. But great job by the receivers stepping up and making some plays.
What I'm curious is when the other receivers come back. What?
Oh, it's gonna get really.
It's gonna get fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing. That's and you know, going back to when we were talking about Kevonta Turpin, Bryan, you continued to mention, well, what are the other guys doing? Yeah. You were kind of forcing Kevonta to be the one stepping it up instead of asking more from the other guys, and now you see what kind of way he can play. Flanoy, I'm speaking of now. I didn't say it. I said it right, Derek.
Good job.
But it's exciting. I'm excited about this whole group, as everybody as a whole, and I'm excited to see once everyone gets back into there, like what happens. Like, do you take time from Tolbert, and now you throw Flanoy out there a lot more? So it's a great thing to see when guys are able to take advantage of the opportunities and be successful.
I think they're going to slow play Mingo.
Yeah, sure. I kind of wonder what happens with Mingo now, right?
I think Mingo's going to – I think you're going to take all 21 days right there and see how this goes. And then you'll see what happens with – this NFL season's long. We know that. And the way attrition happens. I mean, you might lose guys you don't want to lose. Dallas has lost guys along the way here. But I think they're going to slow play a lot of these injuries. I don't know about the secondary. We might see some of those guys get back quicker and try and see if that could give them a different look. But I think on the offensive side of the ball, I think you're going to see him kind of slow play some of these injuries.
Yep. All right. We appreciate you guys joining us. Tomorrow, we will talk about the defense. We didn't get a chance to get to in the day. We'll also talk about the offensive line. Some interesting things to note there from yesterday's game. Until then, for Voch Lombardi, Bryan, Broaddus, and Ambar Garcia, I'm Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break, live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,